I think the Honors Gala to me is important because it continues our charism. And it's a chance for us to see that charism in other people. And the people that I nominated, I've been working with for many, many years. And I think they're an example for us. Dave is a dentist, and I've been going to him for a long time, since about 1980 something. I got a call from one of the people who work in the education department of the St. Louis Symphony. He sponsors Iraqi students, and they had some dental problems. And I got a call saying, do you know of any place that we can get some help for these students?
About the same time as I started, it was when there were a lot of immigrants coming to St. Louis. And there was a sister who dealt with the immigrants on the south side.
He took care of them without any problem, wouldn't think of taking anything, and nobody knew about it. He just did it. It was very, very quiet. We have a big, big interest in helping the immigration population. We have sisters who work with them. We have sisters, who have been involved in that for so many years that that's dear to our heart.
Basically just do what I do, and I don't expect that anybody's going to necessarily call me out on it,
Anything that Dave does, in the dentistry, it's not a job. It's a mission. It's a service. And you can see that the way he treats every individual there. I've talked to sisters, I've talked to people who work with immigrants in different parishes, and they all have the same thing. Whenever there's a need, he's there for them. Besides this, Dave and Ann taught music, and they started teaching over 30 years ago at one of our parochial schools, and they teach K through 8. Dave is a wonderful natural voice, and he also plays guitar beautifully. Ann is the power behind the throne.
I think in the beginning there was a need at our school, and they had a music teacher who very early in the year became sick and wasn't able to continue. So I thought, well, we could step in, that would be fun. So in the beginning it was just that one class, and then realized it really was a kind of a calling. It felt like a mission a little bit, and I really enjoyed it.
They have been teaching music for 34 years, yes. And that's K through 8. They go in there, I think it's once or twice a week for every grade level, completely volunteer. From the time that they walked in till this very day, they have not taken one thing. And you can ask any of the teachers, you can ask the principal, that's been a gift that they have given. And it's a service for a lot of people and a lot of families.
We're always feeling like we're exposing kids to music and to the arts, and some kids I don't think would get that any other place. And it feels like you feel called to do it, and so you're following that call. Not ever for recognition.
No.
So,
I think it's their love of God, number one, flows out, and it flows out to what they want to do for other people. And it's not just that they do it with quality, and they do it with care and compassion for the kids. The kids are the most important part of it. And that's why you can see their charism in everything they do. And I think it's good for us to realize that and say thank you.
She has led this ministry through some more challenging times. And in that process, she has always tried to embody the spirit and the values of the Sisters of St. Joseph in the decisions that she made and the way she directed the program. Cheryl has a long, long history at St. Joseph's, starting in 1978 when she came as a teacher. And she and I had classrooms next to each other, so I really could witness firsthand her passion and her commitment to this ministry.
I was very, very proud to work at St. Joe's and to be offered a position there. I felt so lucky that I got to teach at one of the premier schools for the deaf in the country. And then somewhere in the early 2000s, I think I started to realize that my role at St. Joe's had changed, and so therefore it became more of a mission for me and more of a service and no longer just a job.
She learned a lot about the importance of parent education and parent involvement in their children's learning?
Well, there's two things that I love the most. One is working with new teachers to become better teachers. I also love meeting with families. So on the best day, those are my two best things to do. When I can meet with a family and walk with them and listen to them, I think that's a big gift for me, and it fuels me forward. One of the things that happened in becoming the new St. Joe's is that we worked really hard in telepractice. And that program is called I Hear.
We decided to go with this teletherapy program, and so we're able to provide those services to those families who live all over the United States so that they can provide the kind of intensive services that St. Joseph has been noted for. She has done many, many things that were over and beyond her responsibilities at St. Joseph's. Cheryl and her staff recognized after working with the I Hear program that there were children in outlying areas who were not getting the kind of services they really needed. She and several staff from the other two auditory oral programs here in St. Louis went to Jefferson City and informed your government officials there of this lack in our state.
How do we work together to ensure that all children in the state of Missouri have access to someone who's looking at their language and saying, yeah, you're doing better this year, either through sign or through oral English, and that you're able to communicate, access curriculum.
That's the kind of collaboration that's really needed at this time in order to improve services for all children, not just the children at our program, but children across the state.
For me, it was about these little babies coming, or families coming from everywhere and saying, we haven't been successful. It was my privilege to be able to say to them, well, let's talk about it, and I'll listen. And then we'll figure it out. I don't want anybody to think it's really about me. It's really about the kids we teach and the families, my staff, my family. They are like solid ground.
You know, when you think of this ministry as being the first ministry of the Sisters of St. Joseph in this country, to have someone like Cheryl be that committed, and she's not a sister, but has imbibed this charism to the point where she is determined that it's going to be successful.
I believe in the charism. I believe in unifying love. I think that if you reach out to somebody and you welcome them into your place of business, your school, whatever, they feel connected to you.
For us as Sisters of St. Joseph, we are privileged to have someone like her working on our team to make sure that children are adequately served in our world today.
Well, when I got to Nazareth, July 1st, 2002, I was introduced to Dr. Vani. And over these years, I have just marveled at what she has been able to do.
I started there before the Nazareth have the skills section, the nursing home part. I started taking care of the sister only, when they have only the sisters. First thing I noticed is that all of them were sad to come to a nursing home. So we start talking.
She also is such a delight to our sisters when they're hospitalized because she visits them. She doesn't use hospitalists. So even those who have dementia are, light up when they see her come into the room because that's a familiar face, and then they feel very comfortable with her.
I came from a country that we had no nursing home. We take care of our own people, own parents, grandparents. So this is something very new. So, but I think deep inside, all humans are the same. They want to be with the family, want to be in their own home.
She has worked with our sisters now for over 25 years, and we have never once gotten a bill from her. She is so caring and so loving, and, wants them to feel like they can ask her anything. And so we feel the same way, that we can trust her and that we can ask her anything, and that we're going to get, an honest, caring answer.
I feel like they give up a lot to come to a nursing home, give up their home, give up a lot of things. So one thing that I was determined at that time that I would never take even one more thing away from them. Whatever they want, they get it. So all I want to do is just make them as happy as they can.
Not only does she take care of our sisters, but very often Nazareth will call her for a new resident. And if they don't have a physician, she will come and she will do all the paperwork. And many times they don't have the insurance that will cover that, but she says that's all right. You know, she's very willing to do that, to make it possible for them to be admitted to Nazareth and be taken care of and to be comforted.
I remember in Nazareth, the sister who were resident at that time, they still can walk around, talk. So they greet everybody by the first name, they talk. And the sister from the other side and from the residential side also come. And so they were more like family. At one time, there was a son visiting with his mom in front of the nurse's station. And one of the sisters walked by and just greeted his mom by first name. They talked. And after she left, he said to me that, I'm so glad there's a place like this. I'm so glad that my mom is with sister. When the family leaves, they feel that they're in good hands. And I always want them to feel with me that, yeah, we'll take good care of your parents here. You don't have to worry.
I don't think Dr. Vani realizes what a gift she is to us. This is our chance to say thank you to you. And she said, but I have so much more to be thankful for, having met the sisters. And I said, well, you have been such a blessing to us. I'm glad to hear that you think we're a blessing to you. So this has really been, a win-win situation for all of us. But it's time. It's time for you to sit still and hear us say, Dr. Vani, we love you, and you have been such a caring, loving, kind, giving person to all of us. And we want to say as big as we can, thank you, thank you, thank you.